about to say something. Lightweight, step at the side when we come in. Feel it in your chest, the syllables get pumping. People on the street get panic and start running. Words on loose leaf sheet, complete coming. I jump on my mind, I summon the rhyme I'm dumping. Healing the blind, I promise to let the sun in. Sick of the dark ways, we march to the drumming. Jump when they tell us that they want to see jumping. Dad, I want to see some fist pumping. Lift something, take back what's yours. Say something that you know they might attack you for. Cause I'm sick of being treated like I had before. Like a stupid standing for what I'm standing for. Like this war's really just a different brand of war. Like it doesn't cater to rich and a fan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast on this fine Tuesday. I am Eric of the Lovely Family. This is the one and only Wide Awake News. Charlie McGrath will be along with us shortly as he is tending to fatherly duties and things of that nature. He will be here, in the next few moments, I know, as I continue to get messages from him about him being on the way, and never fear that he will be here. So, with that being said, a lot of people talk about the things that are going on. We're definitely going to get into them, and we're always conversing. Everybody has opinions of what solutions look like. And everybody has opinions about what they should be doing or, what they view a solution as. Just because you present someone with a solution, like building communities and bringing people in who have talents or no talents, but they're willing to learn and so forth, and building these communities and working with each other is, some people think that's crazy. Some people think that, they don't want to give up where they are. Some people don't want to move. Some people only want to use it to be beneficial to them. I mean, for those, I personally agree with the community mindset idea and putting in a community together and working together. But, I have some questions because I saw a lot of posts and a lot of people were asking me, well, how do they vet individuals so that their group will be safe? Well, you want to vet individuals as to, their determination, what it is they really believe in, and things of that nature. But these people were talking about, well, we don't want to bring anyone in that has any trouble. Well, trouble with who? This is the whole idea. They were talking about there was a specific group that I have helped organize and, given them the right proper direction, and they formulated in a specific state. And now they're talking to me about what they'll do about the mortgage cops and people that were entered into their group that have strategically defaulted on their mortgages. Well, what do? You're going to throw them out in the street because the government wants to rake them over the coals? I mean, really, what kind of conviction is this? What are you preparing a community for? If at the first moment, we're performing this task to create a community, to give people safe havens, to ensure people's rights, but the moment the government says they're bad people, we're going to throw them out into the street. Will you fight for them? Will you take up arms within that community like you promised them? Like you swore that you would do? That if they were there for you, you would be there for them? And now debtor's prison returns? And because we have re-legalized debtor's prison, they're now all of a sudden untenable? They're individuals you can't have around you because they make you unsafe? I mean, this is the most retarded line of thinking. You either are going to make a stand and stick to your principles, or you're not. And I'll warn you, I'll tell you that, as you start joining these communities, you have to really understand what you're getting into. You see, a lot of these communities that are being formed aren't really being formed for the right reasons. They're being formed out of their own selfishness. That we're going to work together and we're going to spend money and I'm going to benefit. But the moment the government that you're attempting to combat with rears its ugly head, you fold up shop. You give them whatever they want. You'll hand them you'll walk those people right out to the corner. Here they are. Here's them dirty lone ducking terrorists. Better put them in debtor's prison. many of them are we going to just, how many of us are we going to let them have? I mean, that's the real question. People are under this confused mentality that for some reason this is a peaceful conflict. No. You're peaceful. You're being oppressed. Let's talk about the people with their heads split open and the bleeding. Let's talk about the very small, okay, the very low end of the abuse that's taking place. The Occupy Wall Street citizens. Any citizen who protests. People think that's the big abuse. No. See, this is where people are so confused. That guy that's getting beat down on the street for speaking out, he's at the low spectrum of the abuse. It is more violent. It is more abrupt. And at the moment, but let's look at it this way. How much money have they stolen from you over the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? How many people have killed themselves over what the IRS does to them? Do you know it's in thousands? I'm pretty sure it's in the tens of thousands. Completely destroy their lives. Non-violent people in jail for crimes that hurt no one. How many of your fellow citizens are you willing to give up? I mean, honestly, look at the situation of slave labor in America, which you don't think it exists. All those non-violent pot vendors, those horrible people who smoke pot, right? Those pot smokers, they make almost 40% of the goods you purchase for pennies a day. Pennies! Because they smoked some pot. Because they got caught carrying a bag of weed. You've forgotten about them. You may sit back in your little lawn chair and say, oh, well, that's a horrible thing. They really shouldn't do those to that people. They should fix the laws. And that's a cop-out. Because you've given them away. They're not going to let them go. They're slave labor. They build refrigerators, TVs, iPhones, your toaster, your frickin' coffee mug that keeps your damn coffee warm in the morning. Huh? Did you know 27.8% of those stupid freaking coffee mugs are made by nonviolent criminals, slave labor, right here in the good old US of A? You know what made in the USA means now? It means produced by forced labor. That's what made in the USA means. It means a bunch of guys in a big concrete building pointed a machine gun at your head and said, you're going to make that damn license plate, you're going to make that cup, you're going to build that refrigerator, and you're going to like it. Is this what they deserve? And now you're going to lump the mortgage cheats in with them. So now standing next to the pot smoker on the assembly line for your next freaking big screen TV, you're going to have some person who strategically defaulted on their mortgage because the bank was riping them in the cooter hole. And you just let it continue. You know, everybody gets on me about my harshness of my conversation, about how uncomfortable it makes people feel, about how it puts you in a specific place of thought or mind where you don't like. The war has been waging for decades. You're just right now waking up to the aroma, the fecal matter of the war that's been raging for decades. Now you're unhappy. What about the lives destroyed? What about the property stolen? When do we stand for them? When do we step out and take chances for their freedoms? Some of the most pacifistic people on the face of the planet. And you know who defends them? Almost no one. Because you've deemed that it's morally and socially unacceptable. What about now? What about mortgage defaulters? They're nonviolent criminals too. And they're going to get that $1 billion in revenue. Even if they have to take it out of your hide. They've come right out and told you, you're going to prison.
Hey guys, it's Charlie McGrath with WideAwakeNews.com and Wide Awake News Radio. You know, it was 1999 when the Dow Jones first crossed the 10,000 point mark. Back then, our national debt was $6 trillion. You could buy an ounce of gold for around $250 and an ounce of silver for around $5. Now, there's a lot of folks in alternative media and mainstream media asking the question, when are we going to see the next financial crisis? Well, for myself and the folks over at Austin Rare Coin, we believe that time is now. It's called sovereign debt fiat currency crisis. Now let's review 1999, 10,000 points on the Dow, 2012, after trillions of dollars being spent, 13,000 points. We've seen our national debt explode from $6 trillion to nearly $16 trillion. Gold from $250 an ounce to over $1,600 an ounce, and silver from $5 to over $30 an ounce. Gold and silver, that is planet Earth's currency. It has been for 5,000 years. It will be for the next 5,000 years. If you have wealth you are trying to protect, I highly recommend and encourage you to call Gabe Elton and the folks over at Austin Rare Coin, 1-800-552-4109. They support alternative media. They support getting the truth out, so let's support them. Austin Rare Coin, 1-800-552-4109, or visit them online, austincoins.com.
Remember this name, Carnivora. That's CARNIVORA.com. What if I told you that this 100% pure and natural product was delivered directly to the White House at President Reagan's personal request at a time when only the president was able to obtain it? Reagan used this amazing product, Carnivora, successfully, a product derived only from nature that has the intelligence to instinctively attack abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell, and the power to actually wake up critical immune cells from dormancy to attack foreign invaders that don't belong in our bodies. Carnivora is now obtainable by anyone who wants to get healthy and stay that way. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY and protect yourself with 17 naturally occurring compounds that will unleash powerful immune defense. That's 1-866-VENUS-FLY. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY and get your Carnivora today. Visit carnivora.com.
Will 2012 bring the Mayan end of world or the global banking collapse? In 2007, one man, Mike Dillard, made 5 predictions which forecasted the 2008 economic crisis and the pending Eurozone collapse. This week, Mike unleashes 3 brand new, shocking, must-watch videos with predictions for the coming year. www.the3videos.com. Over the past year, Mike Dillard has helped thousands of ordinary people create and recover wealth by tapping into the black box investing strategies the big banks don't want you to know about. www.the3videos.com. As the European banking system implodes and governments collapse at breakneck speeds, the next 12 months will be the most anticipated and important months in modern human history. This will make 2008 look like a walk in the park. Everyone will be affected. Go to www.the3videos.com now. Learn how to prepare your family and prosper during the global financial collapse.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And I have been told that Charlie McGrath will be on his way, as I got another message. He's out doing the whole dad things, which is really cool to do those things, to bond with your children, to remember what it is that you're doing everything for. And I'm going to say something else too, as I communicate on this level or on this wavelength. Things like, well, it's never going to change. Get used to it. This mentality, to me, I look at the situation and everything comes logically to me. Okay, logic. Everything is logic based, and as far as real problem solving and applying myself to the situation, I work through it logically and understand the problem. But you know what? How about this for logic? We all want people to help us. We want people to help us be free, right? What makes you think, one, that those people in jail who should be free have any reason to do anything to help you? Have you done anything for them? Other people that you want to come to your community, see you, do nothing for these nonviolent people. It doesn't matter. It's now debt. Okay? It's now homelessness. All these things you're being put in jail for. Oh, it can't be changed. We're just going to keep building. Well, why should I join your community? Why should I do anything to help you? You're useless. You're about you. You're not about the little guy. You're not about the American code of standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves. You're about you. The guy at the traffic stop, oh, they're too big. We can't handle it. We can't do anything. See, this is the difference between good people. It's the reason why I gave the quote. Good people, good-minded people, and moral, principled good people. Because a moral, principled, good person will do something about it. They will step in. They will put themselves in harm's way. They will do whatever it takes to make sure that the person who cannot help themselves gets helped. And the rest of the good-minded people will watch, stand on the street corner and cheer. The world is watching. The whole world is watching. I got my camera right here. We outnumber you 400-1, but we're going to watch you beat that woman to death. We're going to watch you shoot that guy in the back of the head after he's already handcuffed. The whole world is watching. Yeah, that's a good person. A moral person steps up to the plate and does something. People don't want to hear that. People want to say, where do you live in this state known as America? How do you know? I know exactly what's there. I see it. All I have to do is look. You could sit on YouTube and not watch one political video all day. Watch nothing but videos of all these people and all the favorite talented videos and all of these things. You can even watch political videos included with that. And what do you see? A bunch of people standing around pointing a finger going, you bad man with that gun. My words are going to make you stop shooting us. My cell phone camera, it's a bulletproof shield. You can't kill me because I got a camera. Has your camera ever stopped them from hurting anyone? Has your camera led to the convictions of anyone? Have you struck any devastating blows against a police organization or the Department of Homeland Security or the banks? But your way is right and mine is wrong. It doesn't make any logical sense. However, I'm going to jump before we go to break. I want to get him in. And Dave, if you don't get in everything that you need, we'll pick you up right after the break. But we're going right now. We're going to go to Dave in Indiana.
Hey, good program, man. I just, this is the first time I've tuned in, and I've been listening to you. And I agree with everything that you're saying, man, but it sounded like you were describing like Nazi Germany.
Well, actually it's, it's America. It's the ideas and the patterns that they've basically filled our heads with. It is Nazi Germany. Well, it's not me. It's not me, so I'm okay with it. Ooh, that's bad. Even if they say they aren't okay with that, that's bad. You shouldn't do that. But I'm going to stand over here. I'm not going to come stop you. But I'm going to stand over here and tell you you're bad. And then when you come get me, the guy behind me is going to take a half a step back and say, ooh, that's bad. I don't understand. I don't understand why my logical analysis of the situation seems to be so disconnected from most of the movement and most of their final analysis of what's going on. I mean, We now have an official return of debtor's prison. I mean, where are we? The freaking Dark Ages?
Well, we are. And that's the problem, because whenever you let a few people control everything, you basically have a dictatorship. I mean, just because you have 535 people ruling over 300 million, it doesn't mean that it's not a dictatorship. Each one of those guys are dictating over 500,000 people, but you're exactly right. I mean, what is it going to take for the people to stand up and go, "Hey, wait a minute, this isn't right, man. We had a revolution over a 4-cent a pound tax on tea, and these guys are ramming us every way, every conceivable thing in our life is taxed to the hilt, and we aren't doing anything about it."
Well, Dave, if you want to hang out, I definitely like the conversation. More of this kind of conversation when we come back, and if Dave is with us, he'll join us. But we'll be back with Charlie McGrath and Wide Awake News right after this.
Hey guys, it's Charlie McGrath with Wide Awake News Radio and WideAwakeNews.com. In 2007, 26 million Americans were on food stamps. 2012, the numbers exploded to over 46 million people relying on the government to put food on the table. Debt's out of control across the planet, pushing us towards a financial Armageddon. Talk of war seems to fill every newscast. And disasters, both man-made and natural, seem to be on the rise. Can you think of a better time in history than now to be prepared for the unexpected? Guys, I want to introduce you to our new partners in alternative media. BuyEmergencyFoods.com. BuyEmergencyFoods.com offers the best kind of emergency food, Legacy Premium, with the largest variety available in the freeze-dried food industry. Each meal is packed for freshness in an individual nitrogen-flushed Mylar pouch. The meal is then sealed in a stackable, heavy-duty plastic container that's easy to store, easy to transport, and won't be damaged by water or rodents. So if you're worried about food inflation, economic crisis, unemployment, natural disaster, then don't delay. Prepare your family now. Visit our new partners in alternative media, BuyEmergencyFoods.com. Give them a call at 888-543-7345, or again, visit them at BuyEmergencyFoods.com.
You're listening to Charlie nationwide and worldwide on the Internet, on the Rense Radio Network.
Are you in debt, having sleepless nights, sick of constant creditor phone calls? Want a guaranteed solution? Become a member of DebtorManagementSystems.com, and we will take all of your creditor calls. That's right, we'll manage all of your creditor calls. Go to DebtorManagementSystems.com and join up today. Or call 855-332-8782. That's 855-332-8782. Join today and take the stress out of your life. Are you having trouble paying your mortgage? Maybe your mortgage loan is upside down or in foreclosure. Maybe the bank already foreclosed on you. Don't be a victim of bank fraud. Fight back. Here's how. Go to InspectorAudit.com and find out the truth about your loan. Did you know that 78% of the loans in the last 10 years violated consumer credit laws? We should not let the banks get away with that kind of fraud. Go to InspectorAudit.com or call 855-373-4948. That's 855-373-4948. And start fighting bank fraud today.
Heart-related health problems affect millions of people each year. Maybe you're one of the many who suffer from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, unbalanced cholesterol, irregular heartbeat, or clogged arteries. There is a solution that doesn't involve expensive prescription drugs that only mask the problem and leave you with horrible side effects. If you are ready to live your life free of sickness, pain, and fear, live your life with increased vitality, energy, and youthfulness, and experience experience your body healing itself, then you're ready for Heart and Body Extract from Healthy Hearts Club. Heart and Body Extract has a 23-year proven track record of using certified organic herbs that make up an excellent formula to balance and support the heart and circulatory system. In as little as 2 weeks, you can feel amazing results when your 2-month supply of Heart and Body Extract today. Call 1-866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know, I think when I draw upon from everything, and I don't know if the caller is still with us, but if he is, we will go back to Dave in just a moment. But you know, I think the people that I speak to or resemble the type of thing that I'm speaking about, because those who are doing the things that they need to do, well, I'm not talking to them, so there's no reason for them to be upset. But not playing the game and standing by with a thumb up your crack while everybody gets raped are two completely different programs. Okay? Not playing the game, we'll put it like this. If your community is invaded, and you say, well, you know, this is just a power struggle, and I'm just not going to play the game, so I'm going to stand over here. And your community gets half butchered and repels the attack. Do you think they're going to be very nice to you? Do you think they're going to keep you in the community because you chose not to participate? What do you stand for? What type of backbone do you have? I mean, this is the whole idea. I don't participate in the game, but I don't participate the correct way, which puts me on a crash course with the state, that eventually I will have to come face to face with my enemy, and there will be a day of reckoning. One side is going to win out over the other on that day. But those are the facts. Standing in your closet, pulling yourself away. If you're not going to play the game, but yet you're not going to defend your right to not play the game. I mean, this is ridiculous. If you aren't going to defend your neighbor's right to not play the game, then you're playing the game. You're giving them whoever they want. See, that's the difference. Everybody talks about this whole violence issue and the whole idea of revolution and this whole idea of all these things, all these changes that they want to make, right? But they don't actually want to do the work that it takes to make them. Or someone else's life doesn't fit into your category of important. Someone else's freedom doesn't fit into your version of importance. And people want to leave and, you know, do their thing, and that's okay. Everybody has their own agenda, but logically, when I look at it, you're just waiting to die. There's a bag and a toe tag and a train ride waiting for you. But if you are there, Dave, please chime in. If not, we're going to continue forward.
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, I've just been enjoying listening to you, man. You're really hitting the nail on the head.
Hey, and you know, Dave, I think it's quite funny because some people hear me, and you know, I would say 7 to 8 out of 10 really get so upset when they listen to me talk, and they get so angry at me, and they hate me, and they dislike what they call rhetoric and so forth. But you know, I mean, let's sit down with let's pick one. Let's sit down with the Jews.
Hey, let me tell you something. Activists aren't popular people. They are not popular people. People don't want to hear what you have to say. They don't want to hear the truth. They just want to keep talking about the baseball game or the football game, or you know, playing tennis, or I'm getting new boobs, or whatever it is. I mean, they don't want to admit what's going on, and that's the mistake. We haven't really learned much over the years. We didn't learn much from World War II. I mean, when you look at the fact that the Germans just sort of sat there and let the government go do whatever the government was going to go do and not stand up and stop them, they were as guilty as the government. And and we are too.
That's where it boils down. People do not make that connection. People think because they told their neighbor that was a bad thing that was happening, or they wrote some piece of paper that said it was a bad thing, that somehow that relieved them of the guilt as they stood there and watched them be tortured. You know, and this is the mindset we find in America, that somehow because I wrote a blog, or somehow because I attempted to tell the next person that there were bad things going on, that somehow that was the absolute pinnacle of the resistance, that was as good as it can get. And let me put this into perspective for you, ladies and gentlemen. The police officers, and no matter what town you're in, okay, the town that's right next to me is the number one in the United States of America per capita police officers to the per capita population. Okay? And the police officers make up less than a half of 1% of the population, and these are the people you're afraid of. You outnumber them by 99.5% of the population, but they beat you when they want. They steal.
Well, don't forget what these people are. These people are no longer peace officers. These are law enforcement officers. They're going out and they're collecting taxes. And that's basically what they are. They're the new Roman tax collectors. Hey, the more speeding tickets they get, the more their pension plan grows and things like that. And you can't have this. I mean, these are systems that would have been put together by the mafia. These are organized crime systems. How many times have you heard in America, well, it's not right, but it's legal? How many times have you heard that? Or maybe it's not really wrong, but it's illegal. That's the world that we live in now, and that's because the lawmakers have been paid to make terrible decisions for us. And that's why the lawyers in this country are laughing all the way to the bank. We don't live with laws. We live with landmines. They're waiting for us to step on a landmine. Remember what a law was before it was a law? It was called a bill. And the reason it's called a bill is because they're going to send you a bill. They're sending us bills for everything. And our founding fathers risked their lives to have a revolution against a 4-cent a pound tax on tea. And look at what we, the people, are doing in this country. We're allowing this to happen.
Yeah, some of the taxes were even less than that. It's really wrong, Dave. To me, I think that, and I'm pretty sure that is going to be old Charlie McGrath here. And let me add him in so I can bring the boss man in. But Dave, I completely, that is basically my message, when I talk to people, that we're willing to just give away anyone under appeasement to grab a moment of not being looked at. But really, society is that. If you ever listen to a police officer, you've probably seen videos on the internet, but I've had police officers tell me, he says, look, I can sit right here and come up with 20 things that you've done wrong that I can take you to jail for. The criminal, these codes just continue to expand, and that's what it's about. They're like vultures standing on the corner, looking at the minefield, going, oh, that one's getting close. Bam, get him, pick up the pieces, take everything he's got. And then they just sit there like vultures.
It's all designed for the lawyers, and it's of the lawyers, by the lawyers, and for the lawyers. That's all it is. And what we need to do is you had mentioned something earlier, and that's why I called into this show. You were talking about, the fact that we need to shake it up. We need to do something. We need to shake up the people, right? Didn't you say something like that? Do you remember saying that?
That would be something that I would say, yes.
Well, I have a good way to shake up the people. I think we ought to start asking the people their opinion about the issues in their lives and quit paying these other people to do it for them, because they've done an absolutely horrible job. If I was an employer and they were an employee, they'd be fired in 2 seconds. They're horrible. We're giving them $180-some thousand a year plus benefits to make good decisions for us, to represent us. And not only are they taking that, which is in this day and age is almost an obscene income with what everybody else is going through, but they're taking the money from the lobbyists that are there to bribe them to make the wrong decisions in our lives. So that these corporations can screw the American people. And that's what our representatives are doing to us. And people just have to stand up and do what you're doing, man. You've got to keep doing what you're doing. You're trying to explain to the people that we're getting rammed, and that's why I called in, man. I just thought, hey, this guy's hitting the nail on the head. But can I make one suggestion?
Sure.
Well, people pretty much know that things are bad, and that's why people like you and I, when we go to parties, we're the loneliest guy there because people don't want to hear what we have to say. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
That's exactly what it is. Unfortunately, Dave has rolled us into a break. Charlie McGrath will probably dominate the last segment as we come in, but we'll be right back after these messages.
Hey guys, it's Charlie McGrath of WideAwakeNews.com and Wide Awake News Radio. 2%, this is the number that the federal government wants you to believe represents inflation in our country. 2%. Now maybe that's true if we back out necessity items we need just to live, such as energy and food. But the fact of the matter is, I don't have to tell you food prices are on the increase. They have been for years, and it's going to continue to rise. The real question is, are we getting better quality food for this increase in price? According to the CDC, the answer is no. A March 2012 report shows foodborne illnesses are on the rise. Guys, we are so lucky to have the folks at SeedsNow.com as sponsors of Wide Awake News Radio. Not only are Chris and the folks at SeedsNow.com offering thousands of non-GMO, non-hybrid, non-Frankenfood seeds that can go out the door today, they're looking into the future as well and offering outstanding values on things such as the Mini Mega Seed Bank with over 48,000 seeds and the Mega Super Survival Seed Kit with over 58,000 seeds. SeedsNow.com is a sponsor of Wide Awake News Radio because they care about alternative media and they care about getting the truth out. So let's support those that support alternative media. And if you go there today and put in the promo code WideAwake10, you will receive an instant 10% discount on all your orders. So please visit SeedsNow.com and use the promo code WideAwake10 to receive your discount.
If you're taking 1, 2, 5, or more nutritional supplements, please stop. Simplify your supplementation with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Men, women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioAge.com. And now take just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with 4 of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain helps with focus, memory, clarity, and mood. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfood has 0 toxicity and is safe for you and your family. Learn more and order your Bio Superfood formulas at BioAge.com, spelled BIOAGE.com, BioAge.com, or call 877-288-9116. That's 877-288-9116. BioAge, the age of advanced organics.
Hi, this is Jeff Rentz. Royal Raymond Rife was without question the most gifted medical scientific genius of our age. He discovered that most disease-related microbes die quickly when exposed to their own specialized resonant radio frequencies. The BCX 411 Rife-type frequency instrument has received the highest praise on several continents for its precision, simplicity of operation, and successful research experiment. The BCX, with its comprehensive manual, allows you to select the frequencies you wish to experiment with for the length of time you want to run them. The BCX handheld plasma ray tubes and RF radio carrier wave, like Rife used, are the absolute state-of-the-art in Rife frequency research. For full information and pictures, take the New Earth link at the top of Rents.com. Settle for nothing but the best in Rife research with the BCX 411. Again, just take the New Earth link at the top left corner of Rents.com.
Make a promise, take a vow, trust your feelings, it's easy now. Understand the voice within and feel a change already.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program. We are in the last segment, but I am proud to say, or pleased to say, that Charlie McGrath has joined us. And, as we talk about this, this whole idea has really led up to this crescendo idea that I'm going to provide for you, because it has now been confirmed that this has actually taken place, but some of the information is unconfirmed. But as you see, the people who will not allow police or who will allow the police and these different things to do whatever they want within your community, okay, well, now you have, and I'm going to drop a link here that will prove to you that at the moment we can prove that the order has been placed. We cannot comment on how many because that information has been sealed and removed. I don't know. I've attempted to call the manufacturer themselves, and they told me that private contracts are they have a non-disclosure agreement.
Wait a minute. They told you that? Because this isn't this is Department of Homeland Security, Eric. This is our Department of Homeland Security.
Does not matter.
Kyle.
They supposedly have a non-disclosure agreement contract signed, and I will give you the link. And what this link is to the actual press release to where these individuals from Shelters Direct actually are, I would say it would be boasting the order, but this shelter provides the Department of Homeland Security with a 4x13 steel UL 752 level 3 bullet resistant booth. It goes on to talk about the bullet gauge of the bullet resistant gauge of the glass, paint, stop and go lights, decorative window frames, security lights, so on and so forth, being sold to the Department of Homeland Security from the sales and marketing coordinator. She was even so bold as to put her name, Megan Sillis. There's the phone number there that I called, attempting to get information about the number because there's a various amounts of numbers that have been said. But here's the big thing. Well, first I want to get Charlie's take on what he thinks of this in this last segment because this was an important thing I wanted to cover with him. But as we think about everything we talked about today in the program, ladies and gentlemen, they're now buying the bulletproof checkpoint shelters to be deployed. You see, while you're trying not to get involved, you don't want to be involved in this aggressive thing. You don't want to be, you don't want to play the game, but they are coming. They're coming exactly as they said they were going to. What are you going to do when they deploy these checkpoints throughout America? Charlie McGrath.
Well, I don't know. It's funny because I had some correspondence with Jeff today on a video that I did that had everything to do with the mortgage police, right? That are coming next. The mortgage police. And I don't know if you saw that or not. Video.
We talked about that in the first part of the show.
Oh, okay. Well, everything we have been talking about lately, and when we come back, we're going to talk about this comprehensive annual financial report. You're more than welcome to hang out, Eric. But everything we're talking to is leading to one place. And I think something that's very, very telling is I'm also dropping into the chat room right now is a secret, air quote, videotape that was released. I don't know if you saw this today or not either. It's Mitt Romney speaking to a bunch of people he's trying to get money out of so he can keep his campaign going, a fundraiser. I'm trying to describe a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser. And in it, he describes how 47% of the people are basically scumbags. 47% of the people are no good, this, that, and the other thing. He's trying to gin up this hate between the left and the right. And I truly believe that Mitt Romney believes this. 48% of the people are no good. I believe the blue team, they believe that another percentage of the people are no good. And when we combine all these percentages of people that are no good, we should understand that it is us that they think are rabble. We are the ones who are nothing but, useless eaters and heavy breathers or whatever they call us. And we're the ones that can be dealt with in the way that we see the build out of the military or security industrial complex, rather, going towards. And, the story that you sent me, that article that you were talking about, that was April of this year, correct? Yes, Charlie, it was April of this year. Yes. So April of this year, I found another story. Am I still on, Eric? You still with me, buddy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was letting you run.
Okay. I didn't know if you muted yourself and forgot or yes, if I lost you.
I was talking to the microphone while it was muted.
Hey, I do that all the time. I did that last night with Doug Weed on the program, so don't feel bad. Anyway, April of this year, and then I found another story, in conjunction was with the 450 million rounds of .40 caliber hollow point ammo Eric Lovely, you're a gunman. Hollow point ammunition, is that usually used for target practice and things of that nature?
No. Hollow points are, they claim that they're used for the non-penetration effect, as they won't go out of one person into another. But for most, the international law has banned them. And the reason why is because as they spread out, they're designed to do more traumatic damage to your inmates.
Yeah, they're human shredder rounds. They're human shredder. They spread out to a 40 caliber, which is slightly less than a half-inch diameter, will spread out to about an inch and a quarter diameter and rip everything apart as it's tearing apart. So the Homeland Security needs 450 million rounds of these to go along with these checkpoints, these bulletproof, bullet-resistant checkpoints. And I'd really love to know the number of how many they purchased. And I think, didn't you allude to the fact that when you were first researching this, you found an extraordinary number that were like thousands that were being purchased, but then subsequently you've been able to not. I mean, it seems like it's been scrubbed with a number.
Well, yeah, in the original numbers, they were, a lot of people claim, but the basic number that it kept seeing over and over from decent, reliable sources was 93,000 of these buildings had been ordered. However, when I called or wanted to get some confirmation, proof that I could show people, I've run into this, this whole non-disclosure agreement that nobody's allowed to now talk about how many have been sold or how many have been ordered, even though when you realistically think about it, it was our money. You know what I mean? If somebody takes my money and says, we're going to do good with it, and they go out and buy 1 million donuts, don't you want to know that some fat guy is sitting on the corner eating all your money up in donuts? So this is the reality. They have non-disclosure agreements where they can use your money to buy products to oppress you, and you're not even allowed to even know how many they purchased. Yeah, you're just left in the dark waiting for the boot.
Well, I guess it's irrelevant. I mean, they could say, you could call that company the link you sent, and they could tell you 1, they could tell you 10, they could tell you 10,000. Really doesn't matter. I mean, the fact is that is one little minuscule drop in a very, very large bucket of tangible, credible information that shows that we are headed. I posted a story today on a website that I take care of for my day job, and it had to do with drones are now being used in Montana. These unmanned drones are being, and of course it's, we want to care about law enforcement, we want to care about fire damage, we want to have this ability to use these Predator drones. Or not, they weren't Predator, but unmanned drones similar to Predator drones in a peaceful, non-invasive way. But you know what? That isn't where this is going. We know this. This is going to a place that is, it's funny because Judge Dredd, the movie Judge Dredd, because you guys know I'm kind of a movie buff, and Sly Stallone was in the first one, and it was horrible. For anybody who saw it, if you liked it, I don't mean to offend you. There's a new version of it coming out, and I think it's ironic because that's where we're headed, man. There's one guy kicking in your door, and he's judge, jury, and executioner all in one shot.
But what does it say in the preview? I mean, if you look at all the movie trailers, what does he actually say?
I am the law.
The state is to defy the citizens. In other words, if you're against the state, then you're against the population, and you have to be executed.
Yeah, it's terrifying times, Eric Lovely.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting what we'll be allowed and we'll put up with. And for Yuan down there in the bottom of the chat room, the number 93,000 is basically revolving around, it was a speculative number, I will say. Speculative, so that no one will get up in arms, as to how many of these bulletproof checkpoint booths that you will see actually in this article that I'm going to post right here. That is the actual press release. You'll see a picture of them. There's a PDF there that you can download that will show you from all different angles and things of that nature. And, if you call them up, there's an 800 number right there. You can call that actual lady up and you can talk to her, but she isn't going to tell you anything. But she's quite proud to tell you she sold them. And that's the thing. Who in their right mind? I mean, the society is so disgusting that this person is proud to say that, yep, I sold these made-in-America products to the Department of Homeland Security. Woo-hoo! I'm so excited I did my part.
It breaks down to 1,860 checkpoints per state. Obviously, that number, you're right, it is speculative. But again, it goes back to the getting, we get called out on numbers, and that's great. We should. We're saying this 93,000. We can't prove that. Eric's thought he had it somewhere, and I said, what difference does it make? Is it 1? Is it 100? Is it 10,000? Who cares? It's anecdotal. I mean, when you add this to all the other invasive security state that's being built in front of you, I mean, if you need to be proved and you need to be shown every fact and every detail to see what's building up around us, well, you're looking too close. Take a step back and look at the overall picture, which is it's coming. It is coming, period.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell people as the show is coming to a close, is these things that they call making change. Has it stopped this forward progression? The facts are, no. Everything you have done to this point has done nothing to stop the progression.
More people are awake. I will say that. I will say that. Sorry, Eric, I'm joking. I will say that. More and more people are awake, and more people are going to understand when we go into this what it's all about because of efforts like yours. So, all right, hang tight, guys. We're going to come back with Walter Burian. We're going to talk about the comprehensive financial report that you guys were 2 weeks ago, asking us to do a program on it. Well, guess what? Next hour is going to be all about that. We'll see you in 8 minutes.
He would hold with pride, a little red cover with a broken spine on the back. He hand wrote a quote inside: when the rich wage war, it's the poor who die. Meanwhile, the leader just talks away, stuttering and mumbling for nightly news to replay. The rest of the world watching at the end of the day, both scared and angry, like, what did he say?
Hey there, my name is Frank Bates. What I'm about to tell you in the next 60 seconds could get me in a lot of trouble. I just created a free video presentation at 123rens.com that exposes the electricity monopolies and government agencies for what they really are: incompetent, lying crooks that are counting on your ignorance and fear to keep your power bills criminally high. Some have called this a conspiracy. Others have called it a cover-up, and you'll be shocked to find out how deep the conspiracy goes. My video at 123rens.com exposes the truth and shows you the secret of how I beat them and how you can beat them too. Watch the controversial video that thousands of other smart patriots have already seen in the last 3 months. Go to 123rens.com and discover one weird trick to slash your power bill and protect your home. Go watch my video now at 123rens.com before they force me to shut it down. Again, that's 123rense.com.
Are you struggling to reclaim your health? Let me share my story quick. My nightmare of chronic fatigue, PTSD, and autoimmune issues cost me everything. A bankruptcy, loss of home, even my wife walked out on me with no hope in sight. A miracle happened after hitting my lowest point. I discovered ION and RNA drops. It literally saved my life. I want to share my story with you and offer you a trial-size mini bottle of RNA drops. Visit www.rnafreemini.com. Again, that's www.rnafreemini.com. It's time to take your power back now. You can also check out our ad online at rents.com. RNA drops.
You're listening to the Rents Radio Network, nationwide and worldwide on the net and at rents.com.